How's that baby?
He's sleeping.
Yeah? So that means you are.
Yeah.
That means you were sleeping.
That's my desert is bad for your mother. My second one didn't sleep till he was 5. I told the same thing.
Okay, I'm going to call to order this meeting of the Lake County Budget Commission. The time is 10:34 a.m. Roll call. Prosecutor.
Here.
Treasurer. Here. The auditor is here. We have all three. All right, the purpose of this is our statutory meeting on school budgets. Before we get into that, since I have you all here, and I don't know how many of you will be on the call tomorrow, and I'll dive into this a little bit more tomorrow. To be blunt, it's my hope that this is the last meeting that for school budgets that's run like this. I have been working with Dave Thomas on proposed budget commission language that would remove a lot of the questions around the budget commission's authorities and remove it from the hands of our prosecutor. In fact, actually would remove the prosecutor from the budget commission statutorily. Currently under the bill, as it's being written, the third position on the budget commission would be appointed by the treasurer and the auditor. And so it would allow a county like Geauga to reappoint a prosecutor if they wanted to, right? There are some counties, and then there are other counties obviously around the state that prosecutors would be desperately, like Lake County, would love to get off the budget commission. And I understand Chuck's position on that very clearly, because when we have our normal hearings for other entities and those budget hearings, the prosecutor also serves as their legal counsel. And so you end up with an inherent conflict of interest. So that's the purpose of what in that part of legislation that we'd be trying to affect. Anyway, hopefully that bill and that legislation will be available here in the next 3 to 4 weeks. LSC is behind on drafting these things because of the budget work. Just, and we can dive into it more tomorrow on the call, but it is my intention to start giving statutorily clear direction for budget commissions, giving budget commissions teeth, including the ability to roll back levies if they're not needed. I think it's long overdue, and it's been my position since day one, and so we'll see where it goes. But there is certainly a hunger in Columbus to change how these things are being done, how property taxes are being done. I'm sure you're all aware that the Auditors Association, of which I serve as the second vice president, has made one of our priorities capping House Bill 920 windfalls and changing what goes into that equation on determining the 20 mil floor. I kind of wanted to just kind of go over some of that, let you all know, right? Like I don't want you guys to be aware of some of the things that we are working on. There's going to be changes, and I know in talking to school districts around the state, there are some that are very, very obstinate about no changes. We'll fight it all, and I would argue to those school districts, and I'm not saying that's anybody here, but I'm saying to those school districts, I would say to remember that that's what the position of like the Estate Association was leading into the board or revision reforms. And then there was not a willingness to compromise or move, and then the legislature just handed it to you, right? So that'd be my only bit of wisdom on that, is that there is motivation and appetite for big changes, and I think they're going to happen. So just be aware in terms of how that may affect you. But that's why we're not here to listen to Chris talk about all that. But I've got you here, so I wanted to talk to you. That's all. And it also gives you an opportunity now to think of all the questions and all the things you want to say to me tomorrow on that Zoom. Okay, our first one up is Auburn. Let's take a look here. Auburn Vocational School, I was called Career Center. What we have is no inside millage and an outside millage of 1.50 mils for a total of 1.50 mils. All good on that? Are you still? Oh, who's Auburn now? Auburn's up here.
Sure he is.
You guys move around, retire, change jobs. I can't keep track of who's doing what. Okay. 1.50 mils. And I'm not hearing any objections to that. So we'll sign off on that. I'll pass this down. Your signature.
And she's there for too.
Oh, is she?
This one's not filled out.
Yeah, it's never
We have to,
filled out.
yeah, we have to
You
put
sign
it, we have to do an name when we send it down.
You're gonna have to trust staff.
Okay.
That's why these are in pencil, because if something comes up
Okay.
and somebody says, that's not right, then we have to have the ability to read, to correct it. Next up, we have Fairport Harbor, exempted village school district. They have a inside millage of 5.24 mils for a total inside under their general fund for a total of 5.24 mils for inside millage. And then for outside, 77.13 mils to the general fund, 3.25 mils to the debt service fund, and 0.50 mils to the permanent improvement classroom maintenance fund for a total outside millage of 80.88 mils.
And that's voted, not effective. Correct?
Voted, yes.
Correct. Correct. All right, next up, while he's doing that, we have Kirtland Local School District. It was nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Welcome aboard.
Yeah, thank you.
When did you come on board?
About a year and a half ago. When'd you leave? Longer than, almost 2 years. Year and a half.
Really? Wow, all right. See, again, you guys are moving around, I don't know who's doing what. You should go back to school and become a school treasurer, I'm telling you what. All right, Kirtland, here we go. For inside millage, there is 4.80 mils to the general fund for a total inside millage of 4.80 mils. For outside millage, there is 62.31 mils to the general fund, 2.04 mils to the bond retirement fund, and 2.05 mils to the permanent improvement fund for a total of 66 .40 mils in outside millage. You concur on that front?
Yes.
All right. That's what I'm looking for. If you don't want to sign this until they put it in,
No, it's okay.
you're more than welcome to not. We're just signing off on the most important one is that we just review and sign off on the top down. Just means that we'll have to track you down later.
No, it's
Make you sign
all
it,
right.
make you sign it all again. Lake County Finance District.
And that's me as the SC.
That's you. Yes. The esteemed. Okay, there is no inside millage to the Lake County Financing District. For outside mills, there is 4.90 mils to the general fund for a total outside millage of 4.90 mils.
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm sending these down without the paper clips, I'm sorry. Next up is going to be Madison, local school district. Who's doing Madison? Who is Madison? I don't know. Here.
Sarah.
Who is it?
Sarah. Sarah Palm.
Got it. All right. First up for Madison, for inside millage, 4.85 mils to the general fund for a total inside millage of 4.85 mils. For outside millage, 50.42 mils to the general fund, 1 mil to the permanent improvement fund, 2.14 mils to the debt fund, and 0.50 mils to the classroom fund, for a total outside millage of 54.06 mils. Next up is going to be Mentor. I know Bill's here. I saw him. Hiding back there. All right, Mentor, 4.80 mils of inside millage to the general fund for a total inside mills of 4.80. For outside millage, we're looking at 73.27 mils to the general fund and 1 mil to the permanent improvement fund for a total of 74.27 mils outside mills. Good on your end? I got the thumbs up. Thank you. There you go.
Okay, thank you.
You're next.
I know.
Well, we have a problem on this one, Barb. They're all blank.
I didn't want to do Sherry's.
Yeah. We'll push that one to the end while you...
Okay.
You have no millage, none. Zero, I'm signing it, it's been zeroed out. No funding this year.
She gets it all from the state anyways.
I know, right?
All right, that's gonna get us to Perry. I don't know if you're aware, but House Bill 15, opponent testimony is Wednesday. If you guys are interested, I'm going down, I am testifying. I know there are going to be at least 3 or 4 county auditors testifying on Wednesday. We've had some good meetings with members of the, conference calls with members of the Energy Committee. There does seem to be an understanding to at least first step grandfather in existing generation facilities. They're saying the right things. Representative Ray agreed with us last Monday on a conference call that she would prepare an amendment to that House bill. So that at least hopefully will take care of the immediate problem as it relates to generation facilities. For those who aren't aware, they're looking to make generation facilities in the legislation as dropped, make them tax exempt. Which obviously we all realize, as I immediately deemed it the destroy Lake County taxpayers bill. They now understand that that was a mistake and that they need to fix it. That's what I'm being told. But that doesn't mean that we don't stay on them.
Right.
So I am going down to testify on Wednesday. And so I'll be carrying the water anyway, but if you guys are interested, so you know.
Thank you.
I'm out of town.
Oh, okay.
I'll be there, I'll be down there. I have a lot of meetings with House reps and state senators.
Okay.
On that, on behalf of Perry.
Oh, good.
So,
Excellent.
I think they should exempt the automotive and the Budweiser plants and work on distribution and where that beer goes. Tax revenue there.
Well, as you can imagine, I have big, and so do a lot of the other auditors have big problems with their wanting to reconfigure to transmission.
Yeah.
I mean, it has its own problems. Obviously, first and foremost, eliminating taxes on existing power generating plants is a bad idea. They now understand that, but some of the other stuff in that bill they need to correct as well. There's a lot of stuff that's good in that bill, so it's not a matter of opposing legislation.
Making sure that we are self-sufficient with energy in the state. Great idea.
Got to happen.
Great
100%.
Take that, exempting those existing plants, tough on those, but
I tried to explain to one member of the committee that when you let the energy companies write the legislation, because they didn't, I said they're going to throw everything in, and you got to be aware of that. This is an ice cream sundae, and at the end they went, well, let's throw some sprinkles on top and make them tax exempt and see if anybody blinks. Like, they got to be better about that stuff. So anyway. All right, Perry, here we go. Inside millage, 4.20 mils to the general fund for a total inside millage of 4.20 mils. For outside millage, we have 40.0 mils of outside millage also to the general fund for a total outside millage of 40 mils. Assuming you're not arguing that point. I had it.
I'll fill in the dollar amounts upstairs.
All right, next up, we're gonna go back to Painesville.
Thank you.
All right, we have, for inside millage, 4.72 mils to the general fund for a total inside millage of 4.72 mils. For outside, we have 74.66 mils to the general fund, 6.93 mils to the debt service fund, and 1 mil to the permanent improvement fund for a total outside millage of 82.59 mils. She's nodding her head.
Yeah,
See that, Barb? You were on the spot.
good job.
And if it was wrong, she was gonna be like, hey.
Oh, I'd let her know.
Oh, yeah, Sherry would let me know.
It was bold, that's why I said it. Who's got levies this spring, what I see? Wycliffe and,
Just Wycliffe,
was it just?
Perry
Wycliffe?
Library.
Perry Library, that's what it
You got a lot of hubbub out there
I know,
on your levy.
I know.
I've had many, many, many phone calls.
I've had many, many public records requests.
was. All right, next up is Riverside. It's the Gary Show. All right, inside millage, 4.80 mils to the general fund for a total of 4.80 mils of inside millage. For outside millage, 50.30 mils to the general fund, 1.13 mils to the debt service fund, and 2.50 mils to the permanent improvement fund for a total outside millage of 53.93.
That's correct.
All right, Lou, Wycliffe. $5.20 mils of inside millage to the general fund, or a total inside millage of 5.20 mils. In terms of outside millage, Wycliffe has 77.91 mils to the general fund, 6.80 mils to the bond retirement fund, and 0.50 mils to the permanent improvement fund for a total outside millage of 85.21 mils.
Correct.
He concurs. And last, but certainly not least, will be East Lake. Nick, come on down. I am still working on that Turk question, by the way. I'm gonna raise it with the mayors and managers at their meeting, their next meeting. How's that today?
I don't know, I don't have it on my calendar.
I better make sure I'm not supposed to be in a meeting here in 45 minutes. I need to make sure that there's not ones that I don't know about, that they've passed legislation. I suspect that there might be a couple communities that, not necessarily your district, but in the county, I need to look at all of them, that they've passed legislation, but they have nothing going on, so they're not meeting. But I have a feeling there might be something I don't know about.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to track that down. So I'll let you know as soon as I know something.
Appreciate it.
All right, Willoughby Eastlake Schools inside millage, 4.80 mils to the general fund for a total inside millage of 4.80 mils. For outside millage, we have 32.50 mils to the general fund, 2.43 mils to the bond retirement fund, 1.30 mils to the permanent improvement fund, and 17.36 mils. Sometimes, Barb, your sixes look like something else. 7.36 mils to the emergency fund for a total outside millage of 53.59 mils.
Correct.
All right. Treasurer, prosecutor, have any thing to report, correspondence they wish to report, budget commission related?
Nope, nothing from the treasurer's office.
Nothing from the prosecutor's office.
Nothing to report from the prosecutor. I've already talked about nobody else. And I'll talk with all you guys tomorrow. All right, if there is nothing else, I'll accept a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.